Have you ever wondered how one of the world's most enduring conflicts began? The Israeli-Palestinian conflict has its roots in a violent chapter of history, marked by the rise of Zionism. This political movement advocating for a Jewish homeland led to a series of atrocities against Palestinians, forever altering the landscape of the Middle East. The year 1948 stands out as a particularly dark period known as the Nakba, or the catastrophe. During the Arab-Israeli War, an estimated 700,000 Palestinians were forced from their homes, their lives, and their memories. This mass displacement wasn't just a reshuffling of populations, it was a tearing apart of families, a fragmentation of communities, and a loss of cultural heritage. It was the beginning of an unprecedented crisis, the echoes of which still ring out across the region. This displacement was the genesis of a crisis that still reverberates today. Can you imagine being forced from your homeland, leaving everything behind? Picture this: a vibrant community rich in culture and heritage abruptly uprooted. The Nakba, a catastrophic event in 1948, saw the displacement of around 700,000 Palestinians. Families were torn apart, communities fragmented, and a profound cultural legacy was left in ruins. The echoes of these tragedies shaped the Palestinian narrative, fueling their struggle for justice and self-determination. It was not just a geographical displacement, it was a displacement of identity, of history, of memory. The aftermath of the Nakba was more than just a crisis. It was a profound reshaping of lives, an alteration of the very fabric of society. It cast a long shadow over the Palestinian people, a shadow that lingers to this day. And so the struggle continues, a testament to the resilience of a people in the face of adversity. Despite the passage of time, the wounds of the Nakba persist. How do you reckon with a tragedy like the massacre at Kafr Qasem? It's a question that haunts the annals of history. In the late hours of October 29, 1956, the chilling sound of gunfire echoed through the streets of Kafr Qasem, a quiet Palestinian village. Israeli soldiers acting under the veil of conflict opened fire on a civilian bus. 49 innocent lives were extinguished in a matter of minutes. Men, women, children, none were spared the indiscriminate wrath of this brutal act. This was not a random act of violence, but a calculated military operation that has since left an indelible scar on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. It's a stark reminder of the human cost of war, the lives lost, the communities shattered, the dreams unfulfilled. Kafr Qasem massacre stands as a symbol of the profound pain and suffering endured by the Palestinian people. This event is a grim reminder of the dreadful consequences of violence. What happens when a people rise up in resistance? In the late 20th century, Palestinians responded to Israeli occupation with two intifadas, or uprisings, in the years of 1987 and 2000. The first intifada was a popular resistance that resulted in over 2,000 Palestinian deaths. It was a profound demonstration of deep-rooted tensions and an unyielding desire for Palestinian autonomy. Fast forward to the year 2000, the Second Palestinian Intifada erupted. This uprising was met with an escalated military assault from Israel, leading to over 4,000 Palestinian deaths. It was a stark reminder of the profound divisions and the persistent struggle for self-determination. These uprisings were not just expressions of frustration and resistance, they were a cry for freedom, a demand for rights, and a testament to the resilience of a people under occupation. These uprisings deepened the conflict, fueling a cycle of hostility and retaliation. What happens when an entire region is cut off from the world? In 2007, Israel imposed a blockade on Gaza, triggering a humanitarian crisis of significant proportions. This blockade has not only strangled the economy but also restricted the movement of Palestinians, confining them to an environment marked by a struggle for survival. The implications of this blockade are profound, affecting health, education, and social conditions. Essential services are scarce, and the movement of goods and people is greatly restricted. The Palestinians are trapped, their lives characterized by hardship and helplessness. But the blockade is just one of many ongoing violations of Palestinian rights. From unwarranted killings to arbitrary arrests, from illegal settlements to forced displacement, the Israeli occupation continues the cycle of violence and oppression. These struggles underline the urgency of addressing these issues, of advocating for justice, and of striving for peace. The plight of the Palestinians continues, underscoring the need for a just and peaceful resolution to this conflict.